Arnab Goswami on the debate.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Now time for the nation's sharpest opinion. Viewers, Mark Zuckerberg has confessed, Mark Zuckerberg of Meta, earlier Facebook, has now confessed that he, along with other big tech companies, are partners with the American deep state. By deep state, I mean CIA, FBI, State Department, and other secret assets of the American government known only to the White House. So Mark Zuckerberg has admitted effectively that over the years, these big tech companies have worked with them to advance the interests of the American deep state. This has now been published everywhere. The recent events in Bangladesh rode on the back of the involvement of the same American deep tech companies who the CIA, FBI, and the American secret agencies work with. Mohammed Yunus, who has been flown in by the Americans, I think, to lead Bangladesh, has, as per several emails, of which I have copies with me today, put out by WikiLeaks, he has been over the years in very, very close correspondence with the Americans, particularly when Hillary Clinton was Secretary of State, with her specific personal teams when she was Secretary of State. The Americans have been helping Mohammed Yunus set up his Grameen Bank. They have worked towards advancing the interests of Grameen Bank business-wise, and they've also been working to get him to agree to enter Bangladeshi politics. According to these emails and correspondence, this effort has been going on since 2007, which means that for the last 16 years or more, the Americans and Mohammed Yunus are working together. The way in which Mohammed Yunus, who is a political nobody, has been made the head of Bangladesh makes him a role model to people like Rahul Gandhi. Rahul Gandhi will get very excited because Rahul Gandhi has been similarly, like Mohammed Yunus, has been in close touch with the Americans, and Rahul Gandhi has been effectively, overtly pleading with the Americans to enter and become influence peddlers in Indian politics. Now, ladies and gentlemen, since Narendra Modi went to Moscow recently and defied the Western media expectations that he would distance himself from Vladimir Putin, the American State Department, the American Embassy in New Delhi, and its deep state assets and machinery have become overactive. So they must have got instructions from Washington to target the Modi government. So they've become so active, they are doing PR activity. One day they flew down to meet Asaduddin Owaisi on the 12th of August. Then they quickly went to go and meet Omar Abdullah and Farooq Abdullah on the 26th of August in Srinagar. Then they flew down to meet Chandrababu Naidu on the 31st of July. Then they met Congress Chief Minister Revanth Reddy on the 2nd of August. You know, if you look at the way these American diplomats are behaving, it's almost like they're going to fight an election in India, or that they have been given the responsibility of forming an alternative political setup. It's embarrassing. What are you doing, American diplomats? Stop behaving like children. I know you got calls from Washington to meddle, but be classy about it. And in fact, don't do it, because we are tracking everything you do. The American embassy has also started, after these elections, they've started conducting workshops for Indian influencers on social media. They're calling it impact level work. So what they're trying to do, the American diplomats, they're trying to convince more Indian influencers to take a pro-America line, a pro-State Department line, a pro-American deep state line. The Americans think this way they will influence the influencers, and the influencers will do what they want them to do, and maybe in the course of it, through some usual American deep state techniques, they'll call it funding good journalism, or they'll call it funding impact journalism, or whatever like that. They'll keep giving bits of money to people they like. In fact, you should all do the research on which are the people, which are the organizations, which are those digital companies, influencers, who have been taking money from the Americans. Directly, it happens quite directly, $10,000, $20,000, $30,000. They give this money, and these Indians gratefully accept it. And that's how the deep state works. Ladies and gentlemen, the American deep state, which was, in my view, earlier supporting the Aam Aadmi Party, has now hitched completely and moved its forces entirely behind the NGO Congress ecosystem. Mark Zuckerberg's admission in all of this, that he has been a very loyal lieutenant, effectively, of the American deep state, brings into the open the big tech deep state conspiracy. The only difference is that between Bangladesh and India is that we are a larger country, we are a bigger country, we are a stronger country. And by putting out this kind of information, like I am doing to you right now, like Republicly is constantly putting out to you, we are doing this because we are preparing you, the viewers and supporters of the Republic Media Network and the people of India. We are preparing you to be prepared for the onslaught of this conspiratorial, dangerous American deep state, American big tech, along with some political parties and leaders in India, their attempt to carry out an onslaught on Indian democracy. I believe this is an inevitability. They are working so hard on it, they will try to do it. Who are the people who will work with them in India? Well, it could be the same people who are questioning the EVMs, the same people who are questioning the whole electoral process in India and are therefore creating a narrative on behalf of their American bosses that Indian electoral democracy has failed. Take a few steps back and look at what people in Bangladesh were saying 2 to 3 months back. They, along with the Americans, started saying that yes, Sheikh Hasina has won the elections, but the elections were not fair. The electoral process is not fair. Now, was the coup fair? Was the military coup fair? Was bringing in a political nobody like Muhammad Yunus, who is clearly an American agent, a deep state agent, and putting him as the face of a military government, is that fair to the Bangladeshi people? Is the crashing of the Bangladeshi economy fair? Are the killings of Hindus fair? Ladies and gentlemen, the people in India, the Mir Jafars, feel that if the Americans could make Muhammad Yunus the leader of Bangladesh, then they too can use the Americans as a springboard to come to power in India. And these people in India who are losing elections or have not fought an election or can never win an election through the normal way, who will keep losing elections, they want to work together with American deep tech to engineer chaos in India, to subvert the election results of June 2024. Now, in all of this, what do you need to do? What you need to do is to let everyone know what this American deep state plan is against Bharat. To forward this video, to tell every Bharatiya that this American conspiracy against India's supreme national interest has to fail, and that we together, the people of Bharat, should teach the Americans the geopolitical lesson that they fully deserve, serve them a defeat, teach them a lesson that only Bharat can. So we have to come together. Please spread this video as widely as you can, so that the Americans know that even before they think they can act against us, that we've got our lens on them. It is they who should be on the defensive. Ladies and gentlemen, it is they who must know the people of Bharat will teach them a lesson, if necessary, if they conspire against our interest. Let's debate.
A sudden hush-hush meeting between US diplomats and the Vice President of National Conference, Omar Abdullah, in Srinagar has raised eyebrows. Minister-Counsellor for Political Affairs Graham Meyer and First Secretary Carrie Applegarth were part of the delegation that met Omar Abdullah. According to the National Conference, the US diplomats called on Omar Abdullah to discuss a wide range of issues concerning Jammu and Kashmir and the region at large. However, some reports claim that it was the National Conference that invited the US diplomats. The timing of the visit is peculiar as it comes weeks before Jammu and Kashmir will go to elections. This meeting between US diplomats and Omar comes after Congress and NC joined hands for elections. Earlier, US Consul General Jennifer Larson's meeting with AIMIM chief Asaduddin Owaisi also turned heads. Is the US deep state meddling in Indian politics and elections with the intent to stir unrest?
Ladies and gentlemen, a lot of people supporting Republic. And I think the useful part of these conversations is that everyone, if you're watching this tonight with your families elsewhere, can you please ask everyone to join in? Let us have a conversation on this. My basic point I want to start with today, and Abhijit, you can start, is that we know that the Americans are trying to meddle in India. It's a given. They don't like the Narendra Modi government too much. They feel he's too independent. They don't like the fact that we took an independent line. They don't like the fact that on Ukraine we were independent. They don't like the fact that we keep hedging our bets with different geopolitical powers, that we may be with, with their alliances, with Quad and all that. But at the same time, we have our own thing. We go to Moscow. We buy arms from the Russians over Americans. They think that if they can bring their government, if they can sponsor an alternative government through a regime change, then things will be better for them. And they're not sure they can wait 5 years for that. So they want to do something, through the American deep state. Abhijit, of late, a lot of people are understanding and accepting what the Americans are doing. How are you hearing the conversation? What do you think the American plan is? What is their intent? And why are they getting so overactive of late?
Good evening, Arnab. So right now, the way I see it, there are only 4 genuinely sovereign nations in the entire world, which is the US, Russia, China, and India. All other nations are infiltrated to some extent or the other and have lost some amount of their sovereignty. Now, the US seeks either a unipolar or a bipolar world. They don't want a multipolar world. And out of these 4 nations, the 3 strongest are not India. So they would like to infiltrate India and compromise India's sovereignty. So the amount of foreign interference in a nation is an indicator of how sovereign the receiving nation is. And what we are seeing the Americans doing in our nation right now, it is very clearly a set of patterns that we have seen before. We have seen it in the before the Euromaidan coup in Ukraine, before the Bangladesh coup. It's a set of patterns that lays the groundwork for regime change. Typically years, even decades in advance, sometimes just months in advance. And you will see that they will host workshops of public policy and politics. They'll support and promote various dubious fact checkers. They will support and promote.
Calling these influencers to the American embassy, I'm told. Are they also paying them money?
In a variety of ways. Sometimes they'll pay money, sometimes they will give them certain inducements, prestige. If you're an academic, you want to be invited to foreign conferences, given the 5-star treatment. So there are so many ways in which people can be, let's say, compromised and bought, essentially. And there's a social media blitzkrieg that they will put out. There'll be think tanks that will be put into action outside of India, inside of India. So the overall objective is to hopefully, from their perspective, bring about a better pro-US government, a more pliable government in India. And Mr. Modi's government obviously is a problem for them. So they would like.
They don't like Narendra Modi. Why do they have a little discomfort with Narendra Modi? He had a great visit to the US. He's very influential globally, right? But they seem uncomfortable. Why is that?
It's because he doesn't. It's because he's pursuing an independent foreign policy. An independent foreign policy is something that the US doesn't want. They want every nation like India to toe their line and participate in their sanctions against Russia, participate in whatever they want us to do, become a client state, a vassal state, participate in their anti-China activities, etc. We would like to have our own foreign policy and pursue our own interests multilaterally. We would like to be friends with everybody.
This Jennifer Larson is a US diplomat, Savio. She's gone mad. She's gone totally crazy. She thinks she's putting together some kind of a government. Who is this Consul General Jennifer Larson? She seems to have the most, in my view, she would have the Ratan Sharda, the maximum miles on her frequent flyer number. She goes, let's look at her visits, right? she goes all over. I mean, okay, so political visits. US envoy goes and meets Chandrababu Naidu July 31st, then flies down. US Consulate General Jennifer Larson goes to Amravati, then goes and meets Pawan Kalyan. Then 2nd August, US envoy goes straight to Hyderabad, goes and meets Revant Reddy, says I will invest more money there. Then 7th of August, the US Consul General, having no time, immediately then goes to Orissa and then meets the Orissa Chief Minister. But more importantly, that's a balancing act. Then on the 12th of August, she goes and meets Asaduddin Owaisi at his residence, and she said, Mr. Owaisi, we have so many shared concerns. We have to do so much good for the country. We have to work together, the Americans and Asaduddin Owaisi, on helping India. And then, the moment Kashmir elections are announced, there is this person who is the Counsellor for Political Affairs. We know what a Counsellor for Political Affairs does, don't we, Savio? Counsellor, Minister for Political Affairs, Graham Mayor, Mr. Mayor, we know what you do.
Which invited a whole train of
we know
foreigners
what you do,
in Kashmir
Mr. Mayor.
Was removed.
And goes and meets Omar Abdullah. Nice cozy discussion.
And then you were endorsing it.
Cozy discussion at the Gupkar residence.
There was a whole busload of foreign delegates which visited Kashmir at that time.
Ganesh was the last person to speak. Does he know the people remember the Communist Party supported autonomy and independence for Kashmir? Professor Bedi and his foreign wife
I am dead against America.
Kashmir to make
but on your
Abdullah into a lion of Kashmir who was doing that Communist Party, who wanted sovereignty for Kashmir, Communist Party, who wanted Pakistan partition, Communist Party, and today is coming here and lecturing us. You know what Henry Kissinger said about that?
Okay, I'd say this, I'm feeling a little mischievous tonight. The top band says, America, don't pry. I want to start a hashtag because I don't want the Americans to even try to do anything in India. So people of India are saying to America, hashtag America, don't try. ये भारत है, ये आपका रबिश नहीं चलने वाला इधर. Ratan Sharda. Ratan Sharda, what are the Yankees trying to do?
See, one quote from Henry Kissinger, very famous quote, this Vivek Srivastava won't know. Why he said to be enemy of US
no, I
is
know
dangerous.
Everything. When I said
but to be a friend is
hashtag America don't
अरे भाई बोलने तो दो. अरे बोलने क्या चिल्लाते हैं? आपका क्या लेना देना है? आपको ही लेना देना है अमेरिका से ना? To be an enemy of US is dangerous, but to be a friend is fatal. So that is the problem with America. It wants client states. It doesn't want independent states. It doesn't want multipolar world. It wants unipolar world. And remember, the visit to Kashmir is most dangerous because every time something happened in Kashmir, it was always Abdullah family involved in that.
Why did you take a delegation of foreigners to Kashmir?
What is his problem? What is his problem?
Why did you take
Vivek bhai, what is the problem when I am talking about America?
Why?
You love China, you don't love America. Why are you shouting?
370 and you said, and when I counted it, you said there's no harm in it.
और आपके चर्चे जाए वहाँ पर पॉलिटिकल पार्टी के साथ जो कहते हैं 330 वापस लाना पड़ेगा. प्रॉब्लम वहाँ है. आपका नेशनल कॉन्फ्रेंस कह रहा है we will bring back 370, we will 35A, Congress supports it. So no gender justice, no SC justice, no kind of justice to minorities, no justice to Shia. That is the kind of constitution they want.
You see,
and Americans go there immediately.
1 minute. May I intervene for a minute? May I intervene for a minute? Just 1 minute, please. I'll tell you one thing today. You see, consul generals in America, of America, do very interesting jobs. Now, why does every Indian anti-Modi person want to meet the consul general? I'll explain why, viewers. Because they feel that if you meet the consul general, you can be Prime Minister of India. Why do they feel that way, Savio? Let me tell you. Because on February 12th, a consul general, who they call congen, in these cables they have this phrase, congen. So I will read a summary of a report, part of WikiLeaks, on the meeting between the American Consul General and Mohammed Yunus. May I read, Savio, with your permission?
Please go ahead.
On February 12th, Congen spoke with Nobel Prize winner Mohammed Yunus about his plans to enter Bangladeshi politics. Yunus, on a 2-day visit to Kolkata, expressed a strong interest to enter political fray and says, I am reviewing my options. Right?
Arnab,
no. And he told the congen. Yunus told congen.
Regarding imports.
Yunus told congen, be quiet, yaar. Why you're supposed to be a leftist. Have some shame, yeah. Even if you're a Sitaram Yechuri supporter.
Yes. I am against Americans, sir.
You are not against Americans. You are the biggest American chamcha I know. Now listen to me.
Endorse Americans for 10 years.
The congen, the diplomatic cable I have with me, this is dated February 12th, 2007. According to the diplomatic tables, the American consul generals was pushing Mohammad Yunus to plunge into the storm of Bangladeshi politics. Yunus said, it may tarnish my image. The Americans said, please don't worry about your image, please join. Falana Tikana. And after some time, the Americans had totally co-opted Yunus. Then I find that Yunus start writing emails. Yunus then writes to Melanie S. Verveer. Dear Melanie, greetings from Bangladesh. Greetings from Bangladesh. Almost every important person in Bangladesh has congratulated me for receiving the Presidential Medal of Freedom. But the Prime Minister of Bangladesh and her party has not said a word about it. Boo-hoo. I'm so sad. You can figure out the depth of the problem. I thought I should keep you briefed so you can figure out what needs to be done. Thank you for your help. Give my regards to H. H meaning Hillary Clinton. See you in the Hilton event soon. So in 2 years, this man has become a complete teddy bear in the hands of the Americans. Ladies and gentlemen, Yunus is nothing but a CIA agent. And now a lot of Indian politicians will think, देखो, उसका तो कोई base नहीं था, वो प्रधानमंत्री बन गया. Yeah, effectively, he's become leader of Bangladesh. हमारा भी यही chance है. The only chance to become leader of India is to become a chamcha of the CIA. These are real documents. I may be putting out in a light-hearted way, but these are real documents, Savio. Explosive stuff.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
May I? I mean,
yes.
By this logic,
Okay, so Vivek, just give me.
So they think if they can become American chamchas, many Indian politicians will think the soonest way to come to power in India is not by winning an election, it's by becoming an American chamcha.
No, sir. We are
a CIA chamcha.
So is India Alliance.
So everyone.
Savio is on the debate, ladies and gentlemen. Hashtag for tonight, America don't try.
Americans,
of the CIA. Which is the covert agency of the United States.
Sir, 10 saal
but
has been a
in
chamcha of the
Bangladesh,
CIA.
other than the CIA, it is the National Endowment for Democracy that has played a very critical role in instrumenting the coup, in working with the media, in working with the social influencers, in working with generating the kind of negativity that was required for Sheikh Hasina. Now the National Endowment for Democracy, which is an overt agency of the United States, reports directly to the President of the United States. Now, like National Endowment for Democracy, you have organizations like the Via Kona, which is talking about persecutions of Christians, where they want the US government to give 10,000 asylum visas for Christians persecuted in India. They are asking the US establishment to find or make laws to treat Christian persecution in India in the US. They have also put out a request saying that no US charitable organization should be allowed to fund Hindu charitable organizations. That is what is happening. Now the fact of the matter is, let's come back to the CIA agents here. You're talking about Nalin, you're talking about Jennifer Larson, but we are all forgetting Samantha Powers that was met, that Rahul Gandhi met in Uzbekistan, allegedly, but that is not known to public, but many people in the intelligence circle is aware of it. Why did he meet this lady of the US aid? What was the need to keep this meeting secret. So you have an agenda. The US administration wants to make India a vassal state. That is what they needed the St. Martin's Island in Bangladesh for. The St. Martin's Island in Bangladesh was not to end China's hegemony. It was to put pressure on India with regards to the closeness that is there to the northeast region of India. And that is America's game. Now, why do they not want Narendra Modi? They don't want Narendra Modi because Narendra Modi is not about India per se. It is about India rising as Bharat. And that is the problem that US has. US does not want India to rise.
I want to.
Enough time.
Yeah, Kapil, just coming to you. This important. By the way, this alleged meeting between Rahul Gandhi and somebody called Samantha Powers. I don't know who this Samantha Powers is in Uzbekistan. I don't know about. It has not been reported. This is Savio's information. It is for the Congress to say whether this meeting happened. I have no idea about it. My point tonight is this. One second. I'm not interested right now because I don't have information that Rahul Gandhi met somebody called Samantha Powers in Uzbekistan. It is a claim being made by Savio Rodriguez, and it is for the Congress party to answer to Savio Rodriguez. My question to you is this, Kapil. Kapil, listen here. Kapil, see, this nonsense. We have shared concerns with the world's oldest democracy. Rubbish. There's nothing called shared concerns between an American diplomat and an Indian politician. The shared concern is whether the Indian politician thinks that they can use the American government to come to some position in India. And, you know, when this meeting about shared concerns happens, I'll just take a minute, Kapil. Just be patient for a minute. Let me focus on this. In 2007, Kapil and America, the story goes that the Consul General of America met Muhammad Yunus and asked a simple question, Mr. Yunus, why don't you join politics? And Yunus said yes. And today, after 16 years, he's become the head of Bangladesh, appointed by America. Okay. The story goes that the American deep state gets a person, and then Yunus told the Americans in this meeting about shared concerns. The reality was, and I'm reading the WikiLeaks report of the US Consul General, Yunus confirmed he was interested. Now replace the word Yunus with a possible Indian politician who is asking for American intervention. I'm not naming anyone. Just replace the word Yunus of 2007 with the name of an Indian politician who has kept losing elections and who wants America to intervene. Who is the person, viewers? Just think. Is there such a person in India who goes and says India is not a nation, a Western democracy must intervene? I'm not naming anyone. Kapil, be quiet. I am not naming Rahul Gandhi. I am not naming Rahul Gandhi. I am not naming Rahul Gandhi. I have not even mentioned Rahul Gandhi. I have not named Rahul Gandhi. So have I named Rahul Gandhi? Am I naming Rahul Gandhi?
Allow me to
have I named Rahul Gandhi? Now let me continue what I'm saying. Replace the word Yunus. Replace the word Yunus, 1 minute, with an Indian politician, 1 minute. I'll mute you because it's a very important point. Dash, Yunus confirmed he was interested. So having supposedly, volume down, having supposedly been asked by many people to step in and overcome the political impasse between Sheikh Hasina and Khaleda Zia, Yunus added, I'm still discussing the merits of becoming a political figure. I'm just saying replace Yunus of Bangladesh with an Indian politician who's begging the Americans to intervene.
Can I give you a...
No. Who would that? Which name comes to mind?
Now your question...
Which name comes to mind?
Now allow me...
No, which name comes to mind? Which name comes to mind? Which Indian politician is repeatedly asking the Americans to intervene?
Just a minute, Arnab. You may recall, it was Mr. Narendra Modi when he went to the US and he campaigned openly for Mr. Trump. You may also recall, it was Mr. Modi who boasted his friendship with Barack Obama, who is a Democrat. Now, I'll ask a question to you and, to all the BJP supporters here. If they are alleging that, Americans are meddling with the political affairs of the country, what is the government doing against it? Have we broken all our ties with America?
Question.
Just a minute, Arnab. Just a minute.
It's the kind of question that Kasab would have asked. I carried out the 26/11 attack. What was the Mumbai police doing?
Just a minute. what steps the BJP government is taking to ensure that our democracy is intact, our political system is intact? Why is BJP not officially on the
Sharda will respond.
Why are they not criticizing the Americans that yes, you are meddling with the affairs of our country? Why is there not a press release?
See, one thing which is
India has
established,
been able to neutralize US for so many years.
voting numbers.
They tried to stop vaccine.
I get.
They failed in stopping the vaccine. They failed in stopping our work for COVID around the world. So that is how Modi tackles these US people. With very calm mind, with very good strategy, not shouting about it, just taking the action. Very simple. It was able to take up Russian petroleum, sell it to the world around, and nobody would do a thing. That how it tackles the US monopoly. You must respect that. It is not. There is no need to criticize openly. It is very easy to neutralize American influence by doing what is needed for India. That is why he said it.
Mr. Sharda, tell me something. What has happened in the last 4 years when Mr. Modi said, "Ab ki baar Trump Sarkar"? If Mr. Modi says, or if the BJP government says that Americans are meddling with the affairs, what is the government doing? It is not for you to come on the channel and say something. I am saying, what is
Modi
the official stand
still,
of the government, Mr. Sharda?
Modi is still able to have excellent
Now, Kapil, you ask the question. Let Sharda ji respond to you. Thank you.
Mr. Sharda comes from
I
the
very
RSS.
clearly said,
So, Mr.
Modi ji
Sharda,
knows how
can
to
you
play
lead a
diplomatic
dharna?
game.
Can you lead a
He was
dharna
able to
and
neutralize
against
American
US
influence in the
ambassador
Ukraine-Russia war. He was able to save disaster on us. He was able to fight the multinational pharma companies. He was able to fight multinational big tech. He was able to get his own way, whether it's the Ukraine war, whether it's Israel and Arabian relations. He was able to do it. He was able to create an alternative platform. That is what a smart PM leader does. He doesn't go and shout at the roads blocks. No. He has set up an ideal way of dealing with American sense of a unipolar world. He is insisting there is multipolar world. He has been able to create policies where he can deal with every kind of nation and deal with them and still keep America on the right side. Whether he said "Ab ki baar Trump Sarkar" or not, he was equally friendly with Biden also, with every other leader in the USA. That is a true diplomacy, which you will not understand.
Okay, people will understand. Kapil, you know one thing about the American deep state, they have a lot of money. I want to ask you. Kapil, I'm moving in a pincer-like move direction in your direction.
Don't give cover fire.
I'm not covering fire. I'm going straight for you.
Yes, you are giving a covering fire.
No, I'm not.
Let Mr. Sharda respond. So, Mr. Sharda, you mentioned
about
the policy. Can you please
How
explain
many
this?
times
He has responded to you, Baba.
Learn from you.
Already
I want to
responded.
learn from you.
How many times you want me to respond?
Policy. Please
I will give the
explain
same statement.
policy.
I don't know
Please
repetitive
explain
debate.
Which policy?
Raise a new
State
question.
policy. Please
So I
explain.
will respond in a new manner. You can't keep on repeating
You
yourself.
said about a policy. Then
Say something new.
Was your previous statement incorrect?
Policies are
Was your
clear.
previous statement incorrect?
He has been able
Was your
to take
previous
advantage
statement
of
incorrect?
USA is able to take advantage of every power in the world, every country in the world. What is a better example of a policy?
Incorrect. What is the name of the policy and the date of the policy taken by the BJP government?
Why there is
to
name
meddle
of the
with-
policy?
He is going in an off direction. You are now no. You are arguing like a trainee lawyer. Okay, listen to me. What is the name of the policy? What is the weather? What is the temperature in Delhi right now? What was the temperature yesterday? What did you have for breakfast? Be reasonable. Question is, viewers, I want to go back to the serious debate. America and Narayanan. Today I have a poll and I can tell you this. What has happened in the last 1 month, everyone in India is convinced that the Americans want to meddle. Right? Now, tell me, who do you think paid for Rihanna's tweet? Rihanna charges maybe $1 million per tweet. No. She doesn't even take her own selfie without charging money. Who paid for Rihanna's tweet during the farmers' protest? We all believe that it is the American deep state which paid the money to Rihanna on the 2nd of February 2021 during the so-called farmers' protest. And she put out a message with that, why aren't we talking about it?
Rihanna was not arrested when she came for the Ambani wedding? Why was she not arrested?
Can I come in, please?
If she committed a crime.
Why should somebody be arrested for a tweet?
Not only that.
Why should somebody be arrested for a tweet?
Why there was no?
It is a political lobbying we are talking about.
Kapil, 50% of the time they will say that Rahul Gandhi is a Chinese agent. No, half the time you say Rahul Gandhi is a Chinese agent because he has got a tie-up with the Chinese Communist Party.
Who gave the visa?
Today a news story comes out that he's an American agent.
Right.
Tomorrow you will say he's a British agent.
Who gave the visa to Miss?
तब मान गए ना.
और he's every day on your TV,
हमारे
man.
कम्युनिस्ट पार्टी मान गई.
नहीं हम तो आपके मजाक बना रखा है ना. ये जो जोकर जैसे स्टेटमेंट्स हैं that Rahul Gandhi has got an agreement with Chinese Communist Party, so he is a Chinese agent. Then you wake up after 2 weeks and you tell me he is with CIA, he is an American agent. Then you tell me that he is trying to topple the government. What the hell with the Americans? अरे बाबा ये नौटंकी जो है, this नौटंकी that you are talking of. अरे भाई you cannot be both. So according to you हम लोग कौन से एजेंट हैं? हम चाइनीज एजेंट हैं, अमेरिकन एजेंट हैं, हम ब्रिटिश एजेंट हैं, अमेरिकन एजेंट हैं, हम कौन से एजेंट हैं?
America, please come on the debate with.
You tell me. Why did he sign
Okay,
up?
America, please come on the.
You are American agents, bloody dalal. For 10 years, 10 years you tore the line of America against your own nation. That is what the BJP has done.
What is the agreement? Please release
and today you are trying to wake up like newborns and tell us that America is a bad state. 10 years I kept on telling you that destroyed the country. They destroyed Iraq.
Please release the document. I will actually pat Rahul Gandhi on the back that he has signed an agreement which is for the country. How can a national party sign with a private party? Tell me that very simply. Please give me, don't keep on shouting. I just ask you, can you release the Communist Party agreement document? Let him declare, no? अरे आप डिक्लेयर कर दो ना सर.
1 minute.
हम चाइनीज एजेंट थे, आज हम CIA के एजेंट हो गए.
Okay, 1 minute. America on a serious debate right now. I would like America to come back with Abhijit Chawda. All of this is happening in succession. And recently, America, let me just put this to you. Mark Zuckerberg.
I'll answer that.
Mark Zuckerberg made a confession. We all heard about it. Mark Zuckerberg said that I was, and I'm quoting a piece in Swaraj, that big tech was not just a bystander, but an active participant in a censorship scandal orchestrated by the deep state of the United States. For years, platforms like Facebook and Twitter silenced dissent and suppressed alternative viewpoints under the guise of fighting misinformation. Right? Now Zuckerberg's confession, I'm reading the Swarajya piece, that these tech giants were dancing to the deep state's tune is less of a bombshell and more of a confirmation of what we already know. The question Swarajya asks is, the real question is whether the US deep state will resist the temptation to use these powerful tools for influence abroad. And that is where I disagree with Swarajya. They are using these same deep state abroad. The American deep state is being used within America, and the same people will obviously use it outside America. So we have therefore proven, America, that everything, these fake farmers protest, Shaheen Bagh, or any other such unrest in the future is completely sponsored by the American deep state and amplified by the big tech companies. And therefore, I feel that any political leader who is getting too close to the Americans is not working in the interests of Bharat. Yes, America. Yeah, you can laugh, but one...
Are you done?
Okay, no, I'm not done. I'm not done. I want to know what you find amusing.
We don't... Okay, keep going, because after all, you have another 20 minutes to be... Okay, can I come in, please?
Yeah, please come in.
Can I come in, please?
Yeah, come in.
This is 9:40. The time is 9:40. I did not say a word. I hope nobody will interrupt me at least for a few minutes.
9:38 to be precise.
Number one. Right. Precise. Correct. Now, first thing is, you are talking to people who showed the finger to the American President Nixon directly when he sent a 7th Fleet. The Indian National Congress need not be taught on what to do with America. I want to remind you that, number one. Number two, the Modi government should learn, and I agree with you for the first time, Arnab, that CIA the American state will interfere in every government as long as the only thing that guides their foreign policy is their interest. We need to be aware that we will be guided by only India's interest. Modi has joined the Quad, and at that time I didn't say anything, and I didn't say Modi is an America's stooge. Now I am saying you should understand the real diplomacy and real politics. Now, I was a nobody when I came here, and subsequently I was the headquarters secretary of the Tamil Maanila Congress. At that time, the American Political Council did come and talk to me. We discussed about varying things. If only the Indian diplomats had also talked to the opposition in the Bangladesh, they would have known what's happening in Bangladesh. The government of India was sleeping when everything was happening in Bangladesh. Now we are shouting, America. If you fail in your game, don't try and blame others who are trying to do a good job. Be careful. In diplomacy, there is no permanent friends or permanent enemies, only your interest, permanent interest of India, that should guide us. Mr. Jaishankar has been doing a tremendous job telling people when people hug, this is our culture. We need to know when to answer directly, when to do a covert operation, but we ought to get information. That's what the American diplomats do. Don't try and put your stories that nobody should meet them or they cannot meet nobody. Indian diplomats should go and meet the opposition leaders, not only in Bangladesh where they have failed, but also in America. But unlike Modi, where he made a mistake of going with Trump, that was wrong. You don't interfere.
You just said that America, Mr. Narayanan, you just said that you used to work with the American diplomats when you were in the Tamil Maanila Congress. How close?
No, I didn't say I worked
with them.
They have met with me, is what I said.
What did they do and talk to you about?
No, they visited me. They talked to me. They've talked about the general political situation in Tamil Nadu. I was a part of Tamil Maanila Congress. I took them to Mr. Moopanar. They came and met Mr. Moopanar. As a matter of fact, Mr. Moopanar, Mr. Cho Ramaswamy, and American consulate were visiting my house, and Moopanar christened my house as India.
Which year was this?
So, these are all very common things that happen
Which
in
year was
diplomacy.
this? I need people to know these quote-unquote common...
1998.
Okay. Was the Tamil Maanila Congress part of a coalition government at that time in Delhi?
Yes, they were, and subsequently they were also not part of BJP. Even at that time,
I need to tell you something. You need to listen to me, and I'll tell you something. Mr. Narayanan, I'm not trying to corner you. Everyone on. All I'm saying is, Mr. Narayanan, see, I come from a position of experience. Sometimes I ask questions just for effect. You think I don't know the answer? I can even tell you which
Mr.
flat in
Arnab,
I can even tell you, sir. I can even tell you which room on the ground floor of which complex called Western Court Moopanar used to live in, and how many rooms he was away from the apartment of Indrajit Gupta.
I have visited there so many times. Okay?
You know, my intelligence is better than CIA. So now listen to me. Now listen, I'll come to the point. I'll come to the point.
Stop
My point is,
Arnab.
I'm not spreading anything, man. I'm just connecting the dots. People believe me in this country. People believe me. I'm asking you.
Yeah. People believe you. They are laughing at you, Arnab.
Yeah, okay, fine. 97% of the people feel the American deep state is working against Bharat. I'm saying here, Abhijit, the Americans are making it too obvious.
I agree with you.
I don't disagree that the American intel agencies, the job of the American intel agencies is to push American interest, even if it goes against India's interest. But the job of Indian politicians is to work in India's interest, not American interest, and to stop hanging on to the coattails of the Americans and meet them with the same obsequiousness that probably Nehru meant Mountbatten. Arnab. The British are long gone, man. We want to get the Yankees back.
Stop being childish.
I'm not.
Nobody can see. We come in the heritage of Indira Gandhi.
Don't tell me a 55-year-old story, man. Boring.
And fought against
Everyone
all the countries.
No. Okay. Abhijit,
So don't try and
see, Savio's laughing.
Don't try and tell us
is serious,
what
viewers.
INC should do.
May I come in?
Yes, Abhijit. Just connect the dots. For
Right. So
it is a
generally
serious thing. I
the
agree
objective
with you.
of an intelligence agency is to keep things under wrap.
you are
do
being
things in
childish,
secrecy.
Arnab.
But
You're
the
being
Americans are
childish.
right now doing it quite openly. They're making it quite obvious that they are trying to make these moves. What does it tell us? It tells us that something is not working for them. That's why they are resorting to this sort of maneuvering. So something is going wrong within India. India is doing well. India has been playing its cards right diplomatically and geopolitically. India has dealt with the US really well the past 10 plus years. And now they are kind of getting upset that they're not getting their way. And that's why they're doing this. So the next few years are going to be pretty important for India. Our economy is rising, it is growing. We need that to keep happening. We need the Americans on our side, but we also need to have all our options open, and the Americans want us to become their vassals. So that is the situation we are in. The St. Martin's Island thing is, it's kind of an echo of 1971. The 1971 war was a disaster for the US, which is why they acquired Diego Garcia in 73. And now, because India is rising, they're trying to acquire a new base in that island.
No.
So that's the situation we are in. I think India is doing really well.
Abhijit, that the economic survey made some points about being a little bit more open to Chinese investment, and recently a little bit more openness to trade with China, and opening up visa restrictions for people who are coming from China, I think for business interests, etc. And exactly around the time Modi also goes to Moscow. The Americans do not like this. And I'll tell you why they are doing this publicly. They are not doing this as covert activity. These Americans are childish, you see, Savio. They want to send out a message.
Always been doing
No. This is not how. No, they are not doing clandestine diplomacy. They are doing this openly. They want to send a message. Hey, we've got a lot of friends in India. We're going to go to Tevanth Reddy. We're going to go to Chandrababu Naidu. We're going to get Chandrababu Naidu on our side. Like we tried to get Tamil Manila Congress on our side when TMC had a slice of power. We're going to be in touch with all these people. We have a lever on you. Americans, you have no lever. You don't even have a lever on Kamala Harris.
I agree.
I mean, what are you talking about?
I agree with you.
Yeah, so I'm saying this.
I agree.
So this is overt blackmail tactics that are going on.
We ought to be doing our politics properly. Modi is not doing it properly.
No, so America
Savio.
wants to send out a message to India that we are watching, we are talking, and we are the big brother, so we can pull the rug under your feet. Unfortunately for them, even a child who understands geopolitics can see through what America and CIA are doing. But more than CIA, it is the National Endowment for Democracy, which the government in 2016 did put under question, and a sort of a clampdown is getting very, very active after the success in Bangladesh. And therefore, it is the overt operation with media, the NGOs, and certain political leaders that actually control the narrative that India is in danger, or the people of minorities are in danger, or the economy of India is not doing too well, or India is getting closer to Russia and China, therefore America is getting angry. All these narratives will be built by the overt operator that actually reports directly to the president. That is the NED. Is something that stays below the radar. And they are the ones that are going to be very active and are active in India after the success in Bangladesh.
And it is all happening, it's all instigated by the Americans. Even the pro-Khalistan line. Trudeau's allegations on September 18, 2023, connect the dots. There was a US hand behind it because the US 6 days after it on September 24th accepted the fact that it was communication that was shared by Five Eyes, which is an intel alliance comprising US, New Zealand, Canada, and the UK, which shared this information. So you should see the dots. You should see what the Americans are up to. You should not pretend that you don't know. And people watching this program tonight, I can tell you it's a matter of time before people like Vivek Srivastava become... Pardon me?
I assume that you're advising Mr. Modi.
No, I'm not advising anyone. I'm advising. I am telling you that despite all the anti-Semitic violence in the UK and the targeted violence against Hindus, the US CIRF, which publishes a heavily biased report on religious freedoms, wanted to tag India as a country of particular concern. Don't you understand what's going on here? The same US which has extradited Nikhil Gupta, a man who they attempted to assassinate a Khalistani, did nothing about the designated terrorist Gurparvan Singh Pannu. Who is supporting Pannu? Is Pannu not a CIA asset? Is Pannu, Kapil, tell me, not a CIA asset? Everybody knows he's a CIA asset.
That means that everybody is against India. The Americans are against India. The Chinese are against India. Yeah. Go ahead, Kapil.
So all I would like to say here is
I think
for the government to take proper measures. If this information and if this news is true, the government should sever all diplomatic ties with the Americans. There should be stoppage of business interests with Americans, and every possible measure that we can take.
over dramatic comments mat karo.
No, I am sorry. I am sorry.
Kapil, you're talking
Ratan
like
Sharda.
a child. You're talking like a child, Kapil.
So the point is,
we are dealing with geopolitical diplomacy. Geopolitical diplomacy with statecraft is a natural extension of geopolitical diplomacy. So stop talking like a child. If there is covert and overt operations against India, India will also have covert and overt operations against America. The fact of the matter is to make people alert of what is happening in the country so that they don't fall prey to propaganda.
And I'm sorry.
Please grow up.
I'm sorry.
You're an intelligent man. Understand the geopolitical diplomacy that gets played. Maybe you don't understand statecraft, but statecraft happens in every country.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I also find the American role in Manipur very, very suspicious. I find it suspicious that the American media almost was preemptive of what would happen in Manipur. I find Eric Garcetti's observation that he's willing to be of help in the context of Manipur very disturbing. And I feel that this is America playing in troubled waters. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sharing all this information with you with just one fact in my mind, viewers. I want you to be prepared. And I want you to watch out for those political parties, social media influencers and media groups who are playing America's game. I want you to research for yourself what connections they have. I want you to find out which influencers have received direct or indirect funding from the American government or American government-sponsored organizations. Ladies and gentlemen, the deep state moves in many nefarious ways. Soros is an overt part. There are many covert parts of it as well. I've received a lot of feedback, and viewers, the Republic Media Network will always put out this kind of information in supreme national interest. See you tomorrow at 9. Good night and goodbye.